Good morning. Today is Sunday, May 26, 2024, and this daily bread is titled, We Cannot Manipulate God. It's from 1 Samuel chapter 4, verse 1 through 22, and the key verse is verse 22. And it says, She said, The glory has departed from Israel, for the ark of God has been captured. Now the Israelites went out to fight against the Philistines. The Israelites camped at Ebenezer and the Philistines at Aphek. The Philistines deployed their forces to meet Israel, and as the battle spread, Israel was defeated by the Philistines, who killed about 4,000 of them on the battlefield. When the soldiers returned to camp, the elders of Israel asked, Why did the Lord bring defeat on us today before the Philistines? Let us bring the ark of the Lord's covenant from Shiloh, so that he may go with us and save us from the hand of our enemies. So the people sent men to Shiloh, and they brought back the ark of the covenant of the Lord Almighty, who was enthroned between the cherubim. And Eli's two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, were there with the ark of the covenant of God. When the ark of the Lord's covenant came into the camp, all Israel raised such a great shout that the ground shook. Hearing the uproar, the Philistines asked, What's all this shouting in the Hebrew camp? When they learned that the ark of the Lord had come into the camp, the Philistines were afraid. A god has come into the camp, they said. Oh no, nothing like this has ever happened before. We're doomed. Who will deliver us from the hand of these mighty gods? They are the gods who struck the Egyptians with all kinds of plagues in the wilderness. Be strong, Philistines. Be men, or you will be subject to the Hebrews as they have been to you. Be men and fight. So the Philistines fought, and the Israelites were defeated, and every man fled to his tent. The slaughter was very great. Israel lost 30,000 foot soldiers. The ark of God was captured, and Eli's two sons Hophni and Phinehas died. That same day, a Benjamite ran from the battle line and went to Shiloh with his clothes torn and dust on his head. When he arrived, there was Eli sitting on his chair by the side of the road, watching, because his heart feared for the ark of God. When the man entered the town and told what had happened, the whole town sent up a cry. Eli heard the outcry and asked, What is the meaning of this uproar? The man hurried over to Eli, who was 98 years old and whose eyes had failed so that he could not see. He told Eli, I have just come from the battle line. I fled from it this very day. Eli asked, What happened, my son? The man who brought the news replied, Israel fled before the Philistines, and the army has suffered heavy losses. Also, your two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, are dead, and the ark of God has been captured. When he mentioned the ark of God, Eli fell backward off his chair by the side of the gate. His neck was broken, and he died, for he was an old man and he was heavy. He had led Israel 40 years. His daughter-in-law, the wife of Phinehas, was pregnant and near the time of delivery. When she heard the news that the ark of God had been captured, and that her father-in-law and her husband were dead, she went into labor and gave birth, but was overcome by her labor pains. As she was dying, the woman attending her said, Don't despair, you have given birth to a son. But she did not respond or pay any attention. She named the boy Ichabod, saying, The glory has departed from Israel, because of the capture of the ark of God and the deaths of her father-in-law and her husband. She said, The glory has departed from Israel, for the ark of God has been captured. Daily bread. First, God cannot be manipulated. The Israelites mistakenly believed they could control God's presence and power by bringing the ark of the covenant into battle. Their attempt to manipulate God led to disastrous results, including a severe defeat and the loss of the ark. We must recognize that trying to manipulate circumstances or outcomes, even with good intentions, does not align with trusting God. Instead of trying to force God's hand through rituals or seeking for signs that fit our own plan, we should focus on sincerely praying and obeying His word. Will you insist on your plans for your life, or will you obey God? Proverbs 3:6 says, "In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." When facing exams, projects, or personal challenges in life, how will you choose to respond? What will you do? Let's learn to pray for wisdom and strength rather than looking for quick fixes. Second, the consequences of pride and disobedience. The defeat of the Israelites and the capture of the ark were direct results of their leaders' pride and disobedience to God's commands. This teaches us that pride and attempting to use God for personal gain lead to negative outcomes. Decision making plays a big role in our lives. From the moment we wake up to the end of our day, we are choosing how we will act, think, and respond to others. At the time of decision making, do you seek God or do you depend on yourself? James 1:5 says, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." The key to avoiding pride is to stay humble and seek God's guidance in all our decisions. Let's avoid the trap of using our faith as a means to achieve personal success or recognition, whether in academic or social settings. If our actions are guided by humility, we will renew our genuine desire to serve God and others. Prayer. Lord, remind me of your perfect plan for my life, and teach me to seek you with humility. Help me to rely on your promises and guidance, not on my own understanding or desires. When I make decisions in life, I don't want to continue to be led by my pride, but by your word. Please lead me in your truth so that all I do can bring glory to your name. One word, God has a better plan for my life.